Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to Royal Ashdown Forest Golf Club. And in this video we are going to take a look at the 7 most important rules of golf. These are things that every golfer really needs to know. They're the basics, the ones that can catch you out if you don't know them and that are going to come up regularly from round to round. Guys, if you're new to the Golf Monthly channel, please do hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of our videos. Hit the like button if you like what you're watching, and please also do leave some comments below if there's any questions at all that you have about the rules of golf or any comments you want to make. Leave them below. We'll get back to as many of you as we can. But let's have a look at the 7 most important rules of golf. Okay, so the first rule that we're going to look at is relating to your golf equipment. Yes. When it comes to the clubs that you're allowed to carry in your bag, Jez, what's the number? How many
The key number is 14. That's a maximum. You don't have to carry 14. But you can't carry more than 14.
And is there any rule relating to the kind of composition of the set?
Not really. The clubs all have to conform to the quite precise regulations found in this pamphlet.
Let's be honest, they probably will, so don't lose any sleep over that.
You may have to watch out a little bit if you're buying, 10, 15-year-old drivers. Some of those ones around about the time when I was equipment editor would no longer conform, but by and large, let's assume your clubs conform. You can carry whatever you like, whatever composition you like. You could carry half right-handed, half left-handed. You could carry 2 drivers. You could carry a right-handed and a left-handed putter. You might want to carry 1 left-handed club for getting stuck beside a tree. You can do whatever you like, but most people, of course, don't do that.
And let's say you've had a bit of a nightmare. You've accidentally brought 15 clubs out with you. You were practicing with an old wedge at some point. What's the penalty? What do you have to do?
Well, I mean, the penalties are quite severe. But they're not, it doesn't necessarily curtail your entire round, although you would incur in stroke play 2-shot penalty for each hole at which the breach occurred, up to a maximum of a 4-shot penalty, which is quite a lot, to be honest. Yeah,
so avoid potential 4-shot penalty by making sure that you don't have more than 14 clubs in the bag. If you carry less than that, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we are stood on the 11th tee at Royal Ashdown Forest Golf Club. It is a brilliant but brutal par 3, and we are here to talk about what you can and what you cannot do in the teeing area.
Yes.
Jez, what's the sort of most basic piece of advice?
Well, I mean, this whole area golfers would think of as the tee, but in terms of the rules of golf, the teeing area is a much smaller area. In this instance, quite a small area because it's from the front and side extremes of that marker to the same on that side, straight across, and then 2 club lengths back. So although the tee in theory is this big area, the teeing area in terms of the rules of golf for the hole you're playing is dictated by the width of the tee markers and 2 club lengths back from that.
Yeah, and the basic error that you see made, probably more than it should be made, is people teeing up just in front of the markers. Usually it's just because people just not concentrating enough and they end up teeing it too far forward, especially on a hole like this where you need to get as much club face on the ball as possible to get the ball up towards the green. But where are you allowed to stand and where you're not allowed to stand?
Well, you can stand anywhere. Where you stand is completely irrelevant. You can stand over on that side, you could stand well outside that tee marker.
So you can stand outside?
Yeah, to hit the ball as inside. But what you can't do is stand inside to hit a ball as outside. It's where the ball is that is the deciding factor.
Yeah, so when it comes to it, you've actually got a reasonably big area to choose from. There is no excuse to tee your ball up on a slight slope or any kind of undulation, because you do have a lot of room to work in. Just take a brief moment just to survey the tee. Make sure that you don't go too far, further than 2 club lengths back, and you should be able to find a good spot to tee it up from.
You should be able to. And one little tip for you, if you're trying to work on something, you want the club to be going a certain way through the ball, you're allowed to tee it up, say here, to try and get the club to go over that divot. What you can't do is put a T-peg or something down to try and do that. But you can use what's already there.
Yeah, to help with your alignment. That's a very good tip. Now, Jez, I'm going to hit this because I've been staring at it for quite a while.
Only 249.
Right, come on. Oh, it's skinny, but it could work.
Could work, to be honest.
Sit, sit, sit.
That's going to be putting.
No,
it's going through the back.
It's a little fast. It wasn't a very good golf shot.
Came out just a little bit clean.
Hopefully that gives you everything you need to know when playing from the tee. So number 5 on our list relates to search time. This is actually, Jez, one that's changed recently in the rules of golf.
Yes.
How long have people got to look for their golf ball?
They have 3 minutes now. They used to have 5, and probably it was one of the rules that more golfers knew than any other. You had 5 minutes to search for a ball. Now you just need to remember the figure 3 instead of 5.
And just to be ultra clear, because the golf rules of golf, you need to know them fairly well. At what point does that 3 minutes start?
That 3 minutes starts when you, the player, or your caddy get to the search area. So it may be the case that someone is a faster walker than you in your group and strides on ahead. They might get to the area where the ball is believed to be before you do, and if they search for you in that extra time, then you get a little bit of bonus time. But the search actually starts when you get to the search area.
Yeah, and this is a good spot, a classic, typical spot here at Royal Ashdown Forest Golf Club. There's heather everywhere. You'd want every last second of that 3 minutes to try and find your ball. Now, you don't have to have a stopwatch. You don't have to have someone with their phone, you know, hitting the start and stop button. Just be sensible about it. Once you feel like you've got up to about 3 minutes, you need to just carry on playing.
Yeah, I think you could go for a letter of the law approach, but realistically, I've been playing golf for 35 years, and the number of searches that are actually timed are very, very few.
Yes, most amateurs do not take that approach, and probably for the right reasons as well. Just be conscious, use common sense, get in, have a look, and then when it gets to about 3 minutes, call the search off and carry on. Okay, so this one relates to your dropping procedure. Now, there's virtually not a round of golf goes by where someone in your group won't have to take a drop. If you do have to take a drop, this is what you do. Now, the scenario we have here, we're going to go for an unplayable lie.
Yes.
So this ball has back of the 11th green gone into this heather. Jez, what are your options in this scenario?
Okay, well, I mean, first thing to stress is that unplayable is entirely your choice. You as the player decide whether the ball's unplayable. You could, if you wanted, declare it unplayable if it was lying completely cleanly there on that spot there. However, this is not a one you really fancy. The first option you have is to go back to the tee and play again.
Yeah, not going to do
stroke
that.
and distance, so you'd be walking 270 yards here to play your third shot. Not a great option. You can drop in 2 other ways. You can drop 2 club lengths from the point where the ball is, not nearer the hole. That could be either side here. Or you can choose to drop back on line, keeping where the ball is between you and the flag. Go back as far as you want, beyond the cameraman if you so choose. That is your other option. So 3 options.
Yeah, but and if you take that option, once you've found the spot that you want to use, you only get 1 club length from that spot.
You'd come back to say here. Let me just mark this. It's always a good idea to mark where the ball is with a T-peg or something, so you've got a reference point. Come back on line. That's pretty much there. I'm choosing that as my reference point in this instance.
But clearly you don't want the ball to end up in there,
you don't.
Do you? So how do you avoid that?
From that reference point you get a club length arc all the way around here, so it might then be that I choose to drop further over this side. Let's pop a T-peg in there just so you can see, and there's a chance from over here that it might not roll back into that particularly nasty bare patch over there.
Yeah, but you also might choose just to take the 2 club lengths from where the ball was. So do you want to mark that one out for us, Jez?
Let's grab this one. So the reference point again is here. Just about see it. 1 club. I won't do this precisely, but very roughly, there's 2 club lengths. I could equally do the same the other side, not nearer the hole. And then you drop within that area.
Go on then, find the area
I'm trying
that you
to
want
find
to drop the ball on.
The best place I can see within this 2 club length area is probably this slightly lusher bit of grass here.
Okay, not bad, Jez, not a bad drop. It just goes to show that when it comes to dropping, you need to keep your wits about you so that you don't drop the ball into a really bad spot.
No.
It wouldn't have been beyond the realms possibility if you'd gone somewhere over here, you might have ended up in there, and that would be a terrible drop. So just keep your wits about you, make sure that you know whether you've got 1 club length or 2 club lengths to play with, and you should be fine.
Yeah, okay.
I think you can play that for us now, Jez.
Okay, well, let's have a go. Just attempt to just close the face down a little bit. Try it that way.
Very nicely played, delicately done.
A little bit short, but I'll take that.
Rolling down to about 10 feet. So hopefully that gives you everything you need to know when you take a drop. Number 3 on our list relates to rule number 1 in the rule book. Now, Jez, that rule relates to playing the ball as it lies.
It does indeed.
Obviously, the situation we've got here, this is a particularly horrible lie, but
Yeah.
you've got to play it as you see it.
Well, it's a bare lie. You've hit it straight down the middle. All around is lovely grass that you'd really fancy. Do you get relief from that? Well, no, you don't, I'm afraid.
Not unless it is marked out clearly as
GUR,
ground under
ground
repair.
under repair. No, but in this circumstance, just one of those days where it hasn't gone particularly well for you. Now you've got to prove that you've read all the instruction about how to play from a tight, bare lie.
Yeah, and just as you said to me, that golf is played on a huge natural
Yes.
landscape. You can't expect to always be playing the ball from
No.
the perfect lie. It's just
No.
not how golf is.
I think you've just got to accept sometimes it'll go like that, sometimes you'll have hit it way offline and it'll bounce back down and find the perfect lie. So you're better to think of it as a game of give and take, I think, than always thinking it's out to get you.
Yeah. So I've got some burning desire to hit this ball, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have a quick hit here, Jez.
Yeah, pros might relish that lie, but
Most amateurs not.
no.
Let's see if I can nip it off the top without thinning it too badly.
Well, as it transpires, you've hit a pretty good shot.
I've pushed it a bit.
Yes, that's
all right.
fine. Perfect. So you might not have thought it was a great lie, but in this circumstance, no damage done.
Okay, so two scenarios here where knowing the rules is really going to help you.
Yes, indeed.
Jez, let's talk about your specific
scenario.
Position that you're
Okay.
in. What can people do from here?
Okay, well, these are two drainage covers, just not far from the 9th green, I think it is, here at Royal Ashdown. And golf, fortunately, doesn't generally expect you to have to play from things that shouldn't really be on the golf course. If you know, this is not part of nature's provision.
The natural landscape.
This is
yes.
something put in to enhance the golf course and the drainage. So you don't have to play this ball if the ball was resting on it, which it isn't. If it affects your stance, so I could say that my left foot is just on that.
Well, it is.
Or the line, it is, yes, that's why I could say it. Or the line of your swing, and I would say that in this instance here, I could play that such that my follow through would catch that, so you would be entitled to free relief.
You would be entitled to get your drop, and you've already seen how to drop
Yes.
the ball, so you just run through that process there. In the situation that I'm in here, there's a few loose impediments
Yes.
around the ball, so you're not allowed to pick up your ball and take a drop, but you are allowed just to pick up all the various different loose impediments around the ball. Be careful not to touch the ball and end up moving it while you're doing that. And then I'm good to go. I can play that.
I think that's the key is, you know, if one of them you think might be actually underneath the ball and the ball would move, if you moved it, then you're just going to have to take that on the chin and leave that one there rather than risk moving the ball and causing yourself a penalty. And the other thing to say about mine is this other drainage cover here, although that's right on my line to the flag, I wouldn't actually get relief from that if this one wasn't here, because you'd only get relief if your swing was going to catch it on the way through, and I would have to really contrive some sort of manufactured swing.
Which
so that
we've
was
seen it in the past, but
we have seen people trying to do that.
Being truthful, it's probably not going to come into
No
play.
relief from that one, so even if you fancied putting that, you would have to just reconsider and chip it over the top of it, but relief from this one.
Okay, so come on, Jez, take your drop, and
okay.
we'll have a quick nearest the pin.
Let's pop that down there.
You'd mark
Without
it out.
measuring it out, I'm just going to drop it here, which is about right, I think. It's now gone onto a nice tight bit that I didn't really want it on. I've got the wrong club for the shot.
Excuses, Jez, excuses.
Let's see.
Oh, you're a bit of a past master.
That was a bit unlucky with the first
Unlucky.
bounce, I felt.
Right.
For those who can't really see, this is devilishly fast down here, so...
You're just trying to talk me out of this.
Yeah. Played it well. And yours got a much better bounce than mine, or did it?
It got a shooty bounce.
So neither of those are particularly close.
Mine's not going to be on the green.
Tappers isn't actually that close to the green anymore. But neither were played that badly, really.
I think you won that, Jez.
Yes, thank you. Uh-oh.
Now,
Heather beckons.
that's a little disappointing. Tough hole here, the 10th at Royal Ashdown Forest Golf Club. I've hit a pretty good drive, but it's gone in the heather. And the
Yes.
heather here is, you're no guarantee to find your ball.
No.
Jez, what do you do if you think you've lost one?
Okay, so we're on the tee here. The first thing you should do, most sensibly, is to play a provisional ball.
Okay, so
you
how do
hit-
I do that?
Well, what you have to do is say, I'm going to play a provisional ball. It's quite simple, really.
Okay, so, but you can't just go and say, I'm going to hit another one.
No,
or...
you've got to use the wording provisional ball, or say you're following rule 18.3 in the book, which is where that's found. You can't just say, I'm going to reload or hit another one. You have to say provisional ball, which is a ball that, should you not find your first one, would then become the ball in play, saving you potentially walking back. How far do you hit it? What, 170?
About 350 yards, I think.
Okay, fine.
And what happens if you don't say, I'm going to hit a provisional ball? Well, you get up there and then you find out that it could be for all sorts of reasons. You know, you go over the crest of a hill and it turns out there's absolute trouble down there you didn't realise was there. What do you do in that scenario?
So if you haven't played a provisional, unfortunately, well, if you can't find your ball, you would have to walk all the way back and play another one from here, which is quite a long walk.
And what's the penalty, more to the point?
Penalty is stroke and distance, effectively.
So stroke and distance is?
Stroke and distance means there's a stroke to come back and then you play another ball from here. So it would be 3 off the tee.
3 off the tee on an already difficult hole that is measuring 498 yards. I'm going to have to play my third shot from this tee.
From here, yeah.
Good luck.
Struggling to make par.
There you have it. Those were, in our opinion, the 7 most important rules of golf. Hopefully you found that useful. We've covered everything from teeing off through to what you do when you lose a golf ball. So if you are in a situation on the golf course where you're not 100% sure what to do, hopefully that video will come in handy. Guys, please do leave comments below. If there's anything you think we've missed out, please do let us know. If there's any clarification you're looking for, also please do leave a comment as well. Hit the like button if you like the video. But for now, from Royal Ashdown Forest Golf Club, it's goodbye.